Hey there, it's me, Lottie, and today what I'm going to share with you is my late spring, summer-ish TBR. I'm excited. I'm excited by these. These are some books that I've picked up from a variety of places. I'm looking forward to getting into them. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and I'm gonna see how well this video does because unfortunately, it's also the kind of day that everybody decides to cut their lawn and trim their hedges and do everything outside that is just loud. Anyway. I hope that you're doing well, and I am enjoying a nice cup of coffee this morning. I have my beautiful, I got this for my birthday, this set of coasters that are just so beautiful. I love them. They're so practical and cute, which is like one of my favorite equations. So anyway, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I'm looking forward to digging into. Some are from the library. One was a used bookstore find that just seemed really interesting. And the other is a young adult book that's going to be a buddy read with my goddaughter. So I'm looking forward to that. And the first one I picked up is Didn't We Almost Have It All? In Defense of Whitney Houston by Garrick Kennedy. Beautiful. Sorry about the glare. Look at Miss Beautiful Whitney Houston. It says here, a candid exploration of the genius, scrutiny, and celebrity of Whitney. In the decade since Whitney Houston's passing, the world has mourned her death amid new revelations about her relationship to her Blackness, her sexuality, and her addictions. Didn't We Almost Have It All is an exploration of Whitney's life as a woman in the spotlight who often had to hide who she was. This is the story of Whitney's whole life, told with grace and honesty. I won't, of course, read the whole thing, but I love a good biography or an autobiography or a memoir, so I'm really looking forward to this Didn't We Almost Have It All? In Defense of Whitney Houston. The next book I got has to do with the topic of adoption. This is written by an adoptive mother. This is Motherhood So White, a memoir of race, gender, and parenting in America by Nefertiti Austin. And it says, in America, mother equals white. That's what Nefertiti Austin, a single African-American woman, discovered when she decided she wanted to adopt a Black baby boy out of the foster care system. Eager to finally join the motherhood ranks, Nefertiti was shocked when people started asking her why she wanted to adopt a crack baby, or said that she would never be able to raise a Black son on her own. She realized that American society saw motherhood through a white lens and that there would be no easy understanding or acceptance of the kind of family she hoped to build. That's just a little bit of the cover blurb. And so, of course, I'm interested in all things adoption and very interested to find out more about her story. Again, a memoir. I love it. Another book around the topic of adoption is American Baby, A Mother, a Child, and the Shadow History of Adoption by Gabrielle Glazer. The author here is a journalist. She's not an adoptee or the adoptive parent or a birth mother, but she's a New York Times bestselling author and journalist whose work on mental health, medicine, and culture has appeared in many publications. So she's decided to tell this story. I've heard a little bit about this book on some podcasts that I listen to that center adoption. It says, America during the baby boom was rife with hypocrisy. Women were expected to marry and raise families, although talking about reproduction and childbirth was taboo. Few schools offered sex education, birth control was hard to get, and abortion was illegal. Premarital sex was common, but young women who got in trouble and their sons and daughters paid the biggest price. This is in 1961, the story of 16-year-old Margaret Earl, who fell in love and became pregnant. And this tells the story of a mother and son separated by adoption, by the adoption system, and also reveals some shocking truths behind the gauzy myths of family life in the 1950s and the 60s. I have been looking forward to reading this book for a while. So I went on and got it out of the library. It's not a new release. So I'm looking forward to reading this as well. This was another book. It's not a new release. It's also written by a journalist, but it is a memoir. It's her story. This is called My Mother and Her Secret Son, Don't You Ever, by Mary Carter Bishop. And this is a memoir about the half-brother she didn't know existed that hauntingly explores family, class, secrets, and fate. It says, while applying for a passport as an adult, Mary Carter Bishop made a shocking discovery that she had a secret half-brother. Her mother, a farm manager's wife on a country estate, told Mary Carter that the abandoned boy was a youthful mistake from an encounter with a married man. There had been a home for unwed mothers, foster parents, and orphanage. And 9 years later, Mary Carter tracked Ronnie down at the barbershop where he worked and found a near broken man. So this seems like it's going to be a very tender and sensitive and maybe heartbreaking, heart-wrenching story. But again, it's a memoir. It doesn't exactly touch on adoption, I don't think, but the foster system is represented, and of course the price that women pay around getting pregnant. This book called out to me at the used bookstore. I didn't know what I was going in to get, and I just saw it, and of course my herbalist antenna went up, The Weed Killer's Daughter. And I just picked it up, and then I read the inside of it and was very intrigued. The Weed Killer's Daughter by Harriet Simpson Arnow, or Arnow. Apparently, she's very well known for this book, The Doll Maker, which may have been even made into a movie, but I haven't read that yet. It says in this book, Arnow explores the secret world of a precocious 15-year-old girl. It is a world not of fantasy, but of intense reality, kept precariously and ingeniously hidden from her parents and mentors, from her continually terrified mother, and especially from her driven father, a man virulently anti-red, anti-black, anti-life, for whom rage is the only mode of being. Rage at his family, and rage at anything unorthodox, foreign, or poor that shows its face in Detroit's Eden Hills. Rage at the very backyard weeds he obsessively exterminates. And there's quite a bit more. But once I found this was set in Detroit, I love books that are set in Detroit that help me gain insight. I think they help me gain insight into my own history, like the context of my history. So I'll be interested to see what The Weed Killer's Daughter is all about. And the last book, this is a young adult book or children's book called Root Magic, and it's by Eden Royce. I'm very excited to read this book. I'm going to buddy read it with my goddaughter, and we've already read the first chapter. She read it to me. Now I'm going to finish reading. We're going to read together. I'm kind of going to probably go ahead a little bit. This says it's for ages 8 to 12. And it says it's 1963 and things are changing for Jezebel Turner. Her beloved grandmother has just passed away. The local police deputy won't stop harassing her family. With school integration arriving in South Carolina, Jez and her twin brother Jay are about to begin the school year with a bunch of new kids. But the biggest change comes when Jez and Jay turn 11 and their uncle Doc tells them he's going to train them in root work. Jez and Jay have always been fascinated by the African American folk magic that has been the legacy of their family for generations, especially the curious potions and powders that Doc and Gran would make for people on their island. But Jez soon finds out that her family's true power goes far beyond small charms and elixirs. That's all I'm going to read. But first of all, it intrigued me because of the subject of root work and root magic. And so I'm really excited to read something from that perspective and hopefully, to learn more about this. It's 1963. So let's find out what's going to happen here in root magic, and I will get back to you on that. So that is my wonderful lineup for late spring, early summer. And I'd love to know, what are you reading? What do you got on your to be read list? I'm excited. I'm excited by these, and I will try to do more, reviews. I do them sometimes on Goodreads, but, and on Facebook, but not really like with any intensity or regularity. I'm just a person who loves to read. But anyway, if you like this video, if you like this kind of content or other things that you found on the channel, please like this video, subscribe, and share it out. It really helps me get the algorithms up so that I can show up in more searches and keep putting together content like this. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're happy and healthy. And until I see you in the next video, take care.